Every empire in history has fallen, from Rome to the British Empire. So now the question many are asking is the United States next? For decades, the United States has held global power through one key system, the dollar. But not just any dollar, the petrodollar. After the 1970s, the US made a strategic agreement with major oil-producing nations. Oil would be traded only in US dollars. This meant that every country in the world had to hold dollars to buy energy. And energy is everything. So demand for the dollar grew, and with it, American global influence. This system didn't just strengthen the US economy, it gave the US something even more powerful: control. Because when global trade depends on your currency, you gain leverage over other nations. Sanctions can freeze assets, limit trade, and isolate entire economies. Trade becomes influence, and the dollar becomes more than money, it becomes power. But today, there are signs that this system is being challenged. Some countries are starting to trade outside the dollar, using local currencies, forming new partnerships, and exploring alternatives. Not because the system has collapsed, but because they are preparing for change. But what's driving this shift? For many countries, it's not just about economics, it's about independence. Because when your trade depends on another country's currency, you are also exposed to its policies. Sanctions can freeze assets, limit trade, and isolate entire economies. So for some nations, moving away from the dollar is not just strategy, it's protection. And now, global tensions are rising. Trade disputes, tariffs, and geopolitical conflicts are increasing. In the Middle East, critical oil routes are under pressure, especially around key routes like the Strait of Hormuz, where nearly 20% of the world's oil passes through a single, narrow passage. So any disruption, any pressure, or even uncertainty can affect global energy prices instantly. And when energy is affected, everything else follows, because oil and the dollar have always been connected. So this is no longer just about currencies, or trade agreements, or politics. It's about who controls the system itself. Because if the system changes, the balance of power changes with it. So now the real question is not just about war, or trade, or politics. It's about power. Is the current system beginning to shift? Or is this just another moment of global tension? Because history has shown one thing: every empire eventually faces change. The only question is, when?